What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I am Mac2Easy, and this is the second episode of the FIFA 23 RTG. Here is a current look at our team today. We have Marcus Rashford up top. We got Rodrigo and Hazard on the left. Except we are getting rid of almost the entire team in this episode. So straight away, going in, I've decided that per the new meta this year, which is having players that have the lengthy attribute. If you're unfamiliar with what the lengthy attribute does, it basically is an attribute on your players this year, and if they have it, usually taller players, basically what it does is allows them to run faster in a longer stretch. So players like Haaland, players like Ibrahimovic, even though Ibra's got terrible pace, in this episode we're actually going to go ahead and put Ibra on the team, and I'm going to show you why lengthy trade is so good this year. This could change with the meta, but we decided to go ahead and get rid of everyone, start from scratch, and we're going to go ahead and go with a Italy and Premier League, so Serie A and Premier League hybrid. So what we're going to do is sell all of our Spanish players, all our Spain players, and we're going to keep most of our English players except for a few. So we're going to keep most of the Manchester United players. So decided to go ahead and keep Fred. We're going to go ahead and get rid of Sanchez here. We're going to sell as much as we can because we don't have a lot of coins. We're rocking an RTG here. We need more coins. We need to be able to put up the funds needed in order to build the hybrid we want between Serie A and the Premier League. The reason I'm doing Premier League and Serie A, mostly Serie A, is because we have that Player of the Month, Marcus Rashford, that we grinded for. So I want to still use him, but I also want to put Ibra up top and show what this lengthy trait can really do for your team. Again, if you haven't tried out the lengthy trait or tried out a player that has a lengthy trait, I really recommend it. Even a player that is slow as molasses like Ibra, if they've got the lengthy trait, at least right now in the meta, what it does is they can just run faster than most any player. So like Haaland, for example, he's got the lengthy trait. Even if you've got a defender that's pace is faster than that player with the lengthy trait, that lengthy trait player is probably going to be able to outrun that defender. So it is freaking broken so far this year. As you can see here, we sold most of our players. We're sitting at 53,000 coins here. Looking at some SBCs here, I actually was interested in this Valverde card here. He looks really good. If you have a Spain team, of course, I didn't even realize he was there until I had just sold my entire ESP, the Spain squad. But if you have a Spain team, definitely, or La Liga Santander, if you have a team in that, definitely recommend that Valverde. He looks absolutely freaking cracked. Kim Min-jae also looks very interesting. Because we're doing a Serie A squad, we may go ahead and try to grind for this center back. He has got good pace. Agility and balance is a little low, but really good pace, defending and physical. And I looked on Footben, and some of the comments on Footben of guys that grinded for him and used him, they were saying he's pretty dang good. So we may be looking at picking up Kim Min-jae if we can grind. The SBC is not too expensive. I think it's about between 50 and 60,000 coins or so. So it's definitely something we'll be looking into. So going back to the lengthy trait attribute here for a second, if you want to be a part of the meta right now, then I highly suggest going into your team and scrapping everyone. If you like certain players and they're not lengthy, then by all means keep them. But the meta right now is definitely this lengthy trait. So I highly recommend, can't stress it enough. It could be patched at some point, but if you're curious on which players have the lengthy trait, go on Footbin and it'll say right under their card, it'll say if they're like a controlled player, an explosive player. Messi is an explosive player. There are other players that are have the lengthy trait. I believe it has to do with physical. Here you can see I'm picking up Ibra, and we're going straight ahead putting the Hunter on him because with the Hunter, his physical is high enough to get the lengthy trait. He's naturally got the lengthy trait. And so the only knockback here on Ibra is his stamina is a abusively low. It's like 35 stamina. So my guess is he's going to be solid off the rip, and then within like 35 minutes into the match, he's just going to die out. But we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to build this team. So again, so on Footbin, you want to go in and check what they are naturally under their name. But you can actually add an architect. Architect chem style right now is super expensive because it adds a bunch of physical, and a lot of players you can actually make them have the lengthy trait just by adding an architect onto them. You can see here that we're going to go ahead and add Sancho, Jadon Sancho, onto our right wing. So up top we got Rashford, IBRA, and Sancho. So pretty solid top three. I also am big on skill moves. Having all the 5-star skill moves is important, and so Rashford, IBRA, and Sancho, all three have that 5-star skills. We're keeping Fred for chem purposes because he fits in properly. He gives us that Man United chem. By having Rashford, Fred, and the left back there, we are going to get full chem on those Man U guys, and then the rest of the team we're going to build out here for Serie A. So I've heard Tonali is pretty dang good. I've heard he's a freak, so we're going to add him and put him in as our center defensive mid here. He's going for about 21,000 coins, so biting the bullet, paying a little bit extra because he is supposed to be meta this year. So it is looking good. Trying to pick him up at a good price here, see if we can get a little snipe off. I think I remember not able to find a good snipe here, so we ended up just picking him up for base value at like 21,000 or so. But yeah, so with the lengthy attribute, if you want to check to see if a player if they don't have it, and you want to check to see if they can get the lengthy attribute, slap an architect chem style on them, because that pumps up their physical. And if their physical gets pumped up, sometimes even if they're a controlled player, whatever they are currently, if they're not lengthy, that can actually make them a lengthy player. And you would think that putting like a hunter like previous years would give them more pace, but that lengthy trait will actually make them faster overall, despite what the pace will say. So definitely recommend it. It'll make your cards cracked, at least right now in the current meta. Knowing EA, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets patched, but in the meantime, you can take advantage of this and try to get as many lengthy players on your team as possible. So, still building out the team here. We've got the Tonali set in there at CDM. We're going to be rocking a 4-3-3-4 formation. I think our formation here is it's 4-3-3-2, but we have custom tactics that change it to a 4. And I actually got that formation. Shout out to F2 Tex. He's the one that he posted a formation video. He's one of the best FIFA players in the world, young guy. So shout out to him. We're rocking his custom formation and tactics. So we put Pogba on the right here, dialing in this Serie A squad. We got midline set, Fred, Tonali, and Pogba. So pretty juiced up. I love Paul Pogba. What's happening, Pogba? In real life, so I'm excited to get him in. It is another 5-star skill player in the team, which I love, having as many skill players as possible. I decided to go ahead and put the Hunter on Ibra to help with that 58 pace a bit. Plus he's got the lengthy trait, so he'll be burning those cards, the center backs that don't have the lengthy trait. He'll be burning those guys despite the 56 pace. Pogba, I think we didn't have a lot of coins, so I decided just to boost his pace and put a nice catalyst on him. In the center back position, we have to fill out the center back, right back, and goalie. So for center back, what I did is I went on Footbin and I typed in Serie A center backs, and I went with, based on which coins we had, I went with this guy Bremer. He is 78 pace, 84 defending, 79 physical, so pretty decent stats. Dribbling's a little low, but pretty decent stats, and he gets the lengthy trait. So I knew immediately this guy's got to be good. 83 overall. We're talking big, lengthy business here. So building out the squad, getting those lengthy players in. Just want to pause for a second on the video here. If you're not subscribed already and you're new here, it would mean a lot if you go ahead and pop a like in the video. Trying to get any likes, if any. I'm a brand new channel, so it really helps me grow. Pop the like button and subscribe if you're new here. That would be very helpful, and that would help out a lot. So we got Dumfries on right back here. I've used this Dumfries in previous years, and he is an absolute unit of a player. He's fast, and he's got strong physical. So if you pop a shadow on this guy, and he's got the lengthy trait, he is an absolute unit, and he will do wonders for you, I promise. We did go ahead and put Master Mike in goalkeeper there, completing that Serie A back line besides our left back, and unlocked a nice little achievement there. Full chem finally. I've been rocking 32 chem, 31 chem for most of the RTG so far this year. But this is the completed squad. Here is gameplay of the very first game we went straight away into, and right off the rip, Eebs goes straight into the back left of the net. And man, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but scoring with Ibrahimovic is just there's nothing quite like it. There's Pogba as well in that same first game with an absolute banger of a shot. If you haven't tried the new power shot, guys, hold down both bumpers and press the shoot button. You can score some absolute bangers with that ability this year. It is very broken right now if you know how to use it correctly. Also, pro tip, side tip, turn off the zoom function of the power shot because it can actually mess up your ability there. This was the end of the game from Firmino going in for the finesse there, but we did end up pulling out a win on this one. This guy kept it kind of close. He was a very formidable opponent, and yeah, so felt pretty good to have game one. Ugh, let's not watch that one again. But yeah, felt pretty good to have game one a dub, and the Serie A squad did prove to be successful. Guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.